Civil rights didn't write your resume, but civil rights made somebody read your resume. Don't act like whatever you achieved because you were that smart. You got there because some unlettered grandmas who never saw an inside of a college campus put their bodies on the line in Alabama and Mississippi and sponsored you up here. Welcome to Beyond the Walls. We're broadcasting live tonight from the KTYM studio in Inglewood, California. I'm actually broadcasting from the Dodgers Stadium here as they celebrate civil rights and Jackie Robinson Night. I'm your host, the Reverend KTYM. I'm the senior pastor of the historical Wells Street Missionary Baptist Church in Los Angeles and Western Regional Director of the National Action Network, where the Reverend Al Sharpton is our national president and founder of our organization. We welcome you, each and every one of our listening audience tonight, to our weekly and exciting brand new radio show, a show designed to drive our listening audience, you, beyond the walls to action. Our desire is to guide your spirit of engagement, to get you involved with the National Action Network, our community most prominent civil rights organization, a group that has been at the forefront of every major civil rights issue, police brutality, demonstration around this country. For 24 years, we operate in the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King. His spirit is alive in our organization, especially here in Los Angeles. It gets no better than the National Action Network. The work we've been doing, we do from our Western Regional Office located at 2828 West Jefferson Boulevard, right on the corner of 9th Avenue and Jefferson in the Concord Church facility. Each day, we provide our community with the unique opportunity to become freedom fighters and to create a platform for engagement. And each week on this show, we want to make our listening audience aware of ways that you can get involved, that you can become part of the National Action Network. We want to also use this platform to encourage our supporters, to inform you of challenges and issues that's concerning our community. And as I told you on last week, we're not on it. I'm not in this by myself. I have my Nance family with me tonight. These are all special activists, leaders of our community. They're going to help us to drive the strategy and engagement in our community. Family, welcome to Beyond the Walls.
Yes, here we go.
All right.
I'm so happy to hear your voices. I'm here in Dodger Stadium broadcasting from the National Civil Rights Game. They're honoring a great legend in Jackie Robinson. I'm so happy to have you all. How's everybody doing tonight?
We're good, Reverend. I'm glad that you were there at such a historic event. As we know, the color line and the barrier was broken by Jackie Robinson, and he is just a legend. I mean, from Pasadena to UCLA and on to the Brooklyn Dodgers. And I was fortunate enough before he retired to see him play here in Los Angeles at the Coliseum.
Wow.
Wow, wonderful. Don't tell your age.
I didn't say how old I was. I was fortunate enough to see him. I don't know what I saw.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm Tulis.
Pastor Martin.
Yeah, it's great to have you there and being honored there at Dodger Stadium. And like I said, we all remember Jackie Robinson breaking that color barrier. And it was one of the anecdotes that I found out that it took many years after he had already broken to the majors and made a great name for himself before they decided to start honoring him or acknowledging him in his own home city of Pasadena. That's why we got to keep the fight going.
Absolutely.
One of the great things about tonight is everyone that walked in this stadium received a duplicate number 42 jersey. So I'm sitting here in my suite with my 42 jersey on.
Now you know that's not right.
I know you got that back, right?
I know.
I'm gonna try to get a few to bring back to the studio.
Now you're talking, Rev. Now you're talking.
Hold down the
You're rubbing
fort.
it in, Rev. You're rubbing it in.
Yeah, Ms. Shoemake, what you know about Jackie?
Well, Jackie Robinson came to Second Baptist Church Back in the early 60s, the historical Second Baptist Church, under the pastorate of Dr. J. Raymond Henderson, and his mother was still living at that time, and my mom had a chance to chit-chat with his mom. It was some big event going on. I was a kid. I don't really remember it, but I remember him coming to visit Second Baptist.
I know. I wish I was kind of born during those times so I can experience what you guys and the memories that you have regarding Jackie Robinson and actually being a part of National Action Network and realizing how important, past and present, the civil rights organization is still needed in our community.
Yes, and unfortunately, they tend to forget that Jackie Robinson himself was a civil rights activist.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
That's right. He was a very influential civil rights
very
activist.
much.
And Simone, I'm sitting here in the suite with his daughter, Rachel.
Wow.
And she wanted me to let you know that if you didn't get a chance to see her dad play, you can check him out on YouTube. That's what we look.
Nice.
Y'all look at YouTube.
Right, the social media.
There you go.
Well, tell Miss Rachel I said, hey.
I would do that. Well, last week, family, we had an exciting time. We was in New York City last week participating in our national convention. We with some great and exciting things that came out of our convention. Why don't y'all talk about your experience?
Go ahead, Ms. Shoemake. Give us a little update on how things went in the New York City.
Well, first of all, I want to pay some bills. Okay.
Go ahead and pay some bills.
Go ahead,
pay some bills. Okay. Good afternoon, radio audience. And I want to let you know that this program is brought to you by Granny's Kitchen, located at 54th and Central Avenue. They're open from Tuesday through Sunday from 8 a.m. until 11 for breakfast, then 12 noon until 8 for dinner. And Eric Lewis is the proprietor. The number there is 323-231-2141, and they can also cater your events. So be sure and keep them in mind for all your catering needs. And we're also brought to you by Raise the Praise, the community church newspaper. In New York, it was 37 degrees when I got there last Wednesday morning.
And did you have a coat, Miss Shoemake? Did you have a coat?
Yeah, I had a coat.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have a scarf?
No. I bought a scarf from a street vendor. The African brother sold me a scarf, and it said New York for $5. Then I was complaining about my hands being cold, and he just looked at me and said, "Here, lady, take these gloves."
See,
Gave me the gloves. I was happy.
That's cool.
Well, you was introduced to New York by the cold. Huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
While it was 73 here, it was 37 there.
Yeah.
but you know things were heating up at the conference though.
Absolutely.
All week, just fire sessions, just one after another. It was just an enlightening experience, an educational venture for us to get the word out about what's going on in our community. So, my greatest and most memorable experience was working with the youth all week. I received the chance to actually, every day, there was a youth hackathon where the youth brought up their own ideas to make an app, make a dream into reality. And that was just a highlight. Being with the kids from New York, I told them, hey, no matter where I am in the world, you have my social media account, so I'm there for you. I am your mentor starting now. And that was probably my highlight.
Well, and I guess one of the best things coming out of that, Simone, is that the great work you're planning to do with the young people here in the city of Los Angeles.
Man, I am.
Young people all across the city, parents, those
Yes.
that's listening to us,
Yes.
you have an opportunity to get your children engaged, help them to recognize the importance of the movement,
Yes.
bring them down,
Exactly.
and they can work one-on-one with Simone. It won't be a mentor from afar, but a mentor from a distance, right?
Preach.
From
Up
here.
close and personal.
Preach, Rev. And that's one thing that I would like to bring to the West Coast region, because although the conference was amazing, I did have one small critique, Rev. One little bit, one small
I
critique.
heard about that critique all the way in Los Angeles.
And we
And
need
that
to
critique
bring.
was?
What'd you say, Rev?
And that critique was?
We need to bring on a national attention the same amount of voice and passion that we bring to police brutality and the way that we're treated by authority. We need to have that same amount of passion on black crime. There was
Absolutely.
not one panel. I repeat, one panel this past week that focused on black crime, and we're in the times of self-genocide.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
And
we
I,
need to do something about that.
I want our community to know that, that was something that National Action Network actually took on earlier this year as we led our peace march in Watts with Big Mike. Our focus was the black on black crime. So
Right.
it's something that we can't hide around or hide under because, of course, there's more of us killing each other than the police killing us.
And
That's
it's
right.
festering. The amount of time and the more we remain silent, they're just going to continue to run the streets. Black on black crime is going to continue to fester in our community. So
Yep.
Miss Simone is here. We're about to make some noise and some action about black on black crime on a national level.
Yeah, and there was some major things that came out the convention. There was some big highlights. Pastor Martin, what were some of the things that came out of the convention?
Well, I'm always impressed by the way you spoke up on that education panel that was conducted there. And I reminded you of a statement. You said you're tired of going to funerals. You want to go to some
I want to go to more
graduation.
graduation. That's right.
So
Right.
I think that, and then Brother Najee was on another committee panel, and we represented ourselves quite well, I thought. And Big Mike Cummings was working on another panel that morning and acquitted himself quite well. California was well represented at the
Absolutely.
convention on the panels and acquitted themselves. I always remember that statement that Mike made, that he got involved after he saw the young man killed with the AK-47. That was
Right.
black on black crime, Miss Simone. And he's been fighting that fight ever since. So it's not like we just coming late to it. We may not give it quite as much prominence, but we on the case.
And one of the great things that came out of the convention was how Reverend Sharpton and a lot of the national leaders came together to discuss the importance of 2016 elections. This is going to be the first time a presidential candidate is going to follow a black African American man.
That's right.
And it's important. It's important that we do whatever we can to get our community engaged around this upcoming election. Right?
It's no time to become lethargic or sit down.
It's very true, and I think that Reverend Sharpton and those that were on there, I think one of the key statements that he said that, we as a people are going to go through a shock factor. And while sitting there listening to that, I really thought about that. For last going on 8 years, we have been privileged to have the first African-American family and president in the White House. And I really hadn't stopped to think, what is it going to be like life after President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama in the White House. I mean, it's, Bishop T.D. Jakes said something at a conference one time. He said, you only knew once. Well, we've gone through this newness, but what after? What are we going to do? How are we preparing ourselves now for the life after? Because in 16 months, it's going to be here front row and center. So we have to make some provisions and get ourselves geared up, because the truth of the matter is we don't know who is getting in and what their agenda is. So we have to be prepared.
And we can't sit down until there's another black president.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then speaking of the kids, just imagine, like Reverend Mosley just said, about 8 years, almost a decade.
Right.
So a lot of the youth are used to a black president. I was watching Blackish last night, and the pilot episode was so funny because they were just talking about how we're so accustomed to a black president, and how the kids, what is the thought process surrounding our kids in the presidency. And so we have to get our kids involved as well.
Absolutely.
Yep. You're absolutely right. And then another piece that came out of the convention was the push for the confirmation of Loretta Lynch, who can possibly be the first African-American woman attorney general. Seems like there's some sort of stalemate in Congress right now, right?
Well, I mean, I think that it's insulting beyond measure that, number one, Congress went on recess and didn't confirm Miss Loretta Lynch. And then when they got back on Monday, the first order of business was to confirm a federal judge, and they still have not gotten to Loretta Lynch. I'm hoping that I'm going to say that publicly, I'm hoping that there are some of the sorrows that she's involved with.
Delta.
Delta Sigma Theta.
The Deltas would mass together across the country and march on Washington.
Exactly.
Well,
I just read
think
that there's a fast that they're getting ready to introduce, but I'm hoping since the voting rights, and especially because there's so many more women voters, that they will go there and look at them in their eyes and let them know that just like we voted you in, we could vote you out.
And we're so happy that our executive director, Janae Ingram, is leading a day of that hunger strike, just to make sure we bring awareness that they should confirm Loretta Lynch right now.
Right.
Ms. Shoemake-Simone, what you think about that?
Well, we watched Melissa Harris Perry on Saturday morning, and that was mentioned, that they may have to do a march on Washington. So if the Deltas go, they're going to call the AKAs in.
Yep.
Ski-wee.
Then they're going to call the Alphas.
Yep.
And
Omegas.
The SG Rose, the
Omegas.
Zetas. They should really pull together the whole entire Divine Nine. And I myself am a member of a Black Greek sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I will be more than happy to join the rally with Loretta Lynch and making sure that we push all Greeks.
Reverend Tulis, we have another one of our wonderful members here from National Action Network, Sister Juanita, the Songbird.
The Songbird.
Yes.
Welcome, Juanita.
Oh, thank
Welcome
you so
to
much.
Beyond the Wall.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
It was such a pleasure to hang out with you this week in New York City last week.
Oh, absolutely. Just a tremendous experience. And just speaking of, what impacted us individually, we were all tremendously blessed collectively. But from an individual standpoint, what really, really stuck out to me the most was the impact of My Brother's Keeper, the initiative that comes down from the White House. And I heard somebody mention Big Mike was on that panel.
Yes,
And
he was.
the task force director, Mr. Broderick Johnson.
Yep.
And they were all very, very, very tremendous. And it was very encouraging, all the things that are planned and that are coming down the pike for young African American males, from education to particularly, the mass incarceration and things of that nature. So hopefully we can do what we need to do here in the Los Angeles area around that, with all the new laws that have come down that help young men who are coming out of prison, Prop 47 and the three strikes reform. There's a lot of positive things happening, and I'm very passionate about that. And so I was very excited that we're not the only ones here in Los Angeles that care about those things, but particularly our president has made some very good strides to send some things down here to us to help us down here.
That's right.
So I was
That's
excited
right.
about that, and it was a pleasure to be with you, and it was a great thing to see you honored and how respected you are, Reverend Tulos,
Yes.
as our regional
Yes.
director.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's right.
And as I said, and as I said in my speech, I wouldn't be much without you all. You all are literally the ones that push me and support me along the way. And any award I receive, an award contributed to the work and the hard work that you all do each and every
Well, we
week.
felt quite
And that's
proud
what
of you,
I said.
Doc.
Absolutely, and I mean
Thank you so
again,
much.
again to be there as a witness, to see that your work has not been in vain, and for us to have shared that part with you was a tremendous blessing within itself. And I think what really capped it off and embodied you was to hear such a dynamic presentation from the Reverend Dr. James Forbes, who really illuminated and set. If he didn't set us on fire, he sure made us think.
He set the youngsters.
I don't know, but I know that after his presentation, as we exited, we were missing one of our most prestigious
Yeah,
young people.
I think
The
she went
youngster.
from Bedside Baptist to Pastor James Ford Church.
But I was
She
showed
had to
there
come
bright
to
and
Jesus
early.
moment.
Yeah, she was sitting next to me, and I looked over at her, and
Reverend Moulton, don't tell my business online.
I gotta tell her.
Line on the air.
On there.
Yeah,
She was
But ultimately,
she was wiping her eyes.
I think ultimately we all had an experience. Again,
Yes,
we
ask
did.
all
Yes, we
of our
did.
listeners to get involved, get engaged. We are one big family here at National
Yes,
Action
we
Network.
are.
Our
Absolutely.
desire is simply to make a difference in our community. Our desire is simply to mobilize and organize our community around issues. And if there's issues that's plaguing you, get involved, get engaged. I mean, we have so many other things coming up. We have a renewed focus on the police reform agenda. You know, one of the things we was talking about in New York was the South Carolina situation, the shooting that took place to Walter Scott in South Carolina, and how the police chief and the police and the mayor, they fired him immediately, and they arrested him immediately
and charged him with murder.
and charged him.
Yes.
And I believe, and Reverend Sharpton believes, that they set a precedent of how to deal with folks that are shooting and killing our community up.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, we have a lot to celebrate, right?
Exactly.
We do.
And listen, I'm gonna tell you now, I got to get into this civil rights game. I'm here broadcasting. I'm gonna just let you all handle the rest of the show. But I want the world to know, come on out to National Action Network, be engaged, be involved, and remember, it's time to go beyond the walls. God bless everybody on call. You all take it over.
Have a
See ya.
great time,
Later,
Reverend.
Rev.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
Another thing that we want to make mention of is that we went to New York Mellon Bank, and in going to New York Mellon Bank, we took a great constituency there, and how
Anthony Hawkins and everybody.
yeah, from SEIU, Local 721, Mike Green,
My union.
Bishop Carlos, Juan Carlos Mendez. We were out at the New York Mellon Bank, and it was very interesting because we had been sending letters and correspondence to the bank in order to meet them, as you know, and some of our listeners may have to be refreshed on it. They're part of the banking institution that helped bankrupt the city with their predatory loans, and so we went there to ask them about our almost $400 million that they take out a year from Los Angeles alone. We can't get streets fixed. We have lost jobs. We have people that need higher wages, all those things. And they never came down to meet us. They said the worst thing, and I think it was insulting, that they sent the building security manager. And I said to her, you don't make any decisions and don't sign no checks. So after a while, we like toodles, move on. But after a while, we noticed that they had called for New York,
wagon?
the paddy wagon NY
Across the street.
Across the street. So again, we didn't do anything disruptive, but we made our voices heard. For those that might want to see, you can pull us up on YouTube on SEIU 721 New York City, and you will see us in the lobby of the Mellon Bank, letting them know that we will not go away, and in the words of the Terminator, because they wouldn't see us, we'll be back. So I want you to remember, as our organization meets every Monday night, 6 p.m. on Western Region office located at 2828 West Jefferson Boulevard. That's right on the corner of 9th Avenue and Jefferson, an organization that it's built for action. We don't sit down on anything. Unfortunately, on Monday, prior to the meeting, I had to go to heinous drive-by murder of two young African-American men on 52nd and Central by the New Hope Baptist Church, who were gunned down. It's a turf war that's existing, and we were having a very hard time because, again, as Simone was making reference, there's the black on black crime that's existing. So we want to make sure that we let everybody know that we're involved, engaged, and we are not waiting around. Okay, Simone, can you let us know about the second and fourth Monday of each month?
Every second and fourth every second, fourth Monday of each month, we dedicate our meetings to police accountability. And as you know, again, in our society, in our community, we have an issue with the police. And this is a way for you guys to come to find out more information as to how to get involved with police accountability work. This is led by our leader, Reverend KW Tullis, Dr. Lewis Logan, and our sister, attorney Rashida Kilpatrick. This work is driven by the fact that over the last few years in Los Angeles and around this country, it seems that law enforcement policies have diminished the value of Black life. And we're not saying that all police are bad, not at all. However, we are not anti-police, but we're just anti-police brutality. I'll say that again. We're not anti-police,
You're here.
but we're anti-police brutality. When the law only favors one side, the police side sometimes is wrong.
Something's wrong.
And that's exactly why we, National Action Network, is doing every second and fourth Monday, we have police accountability meeting. So come, stop by, share your grievances, share your celebrations, whatever it is concerning police. We want to hear, we want to know about it so we can help.
Yes, thank you, Simone. And you know, we're a full service entity, and on we have legal night, which tomorrow night is legal night at National Action Network, and we are blessed tonight to have one of our outstanding leaders and attorney online with us, attorney Jason Silas of the law firm of Silas and Carr. Let's give him a hand as he comes on.
Big James.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, everybody.
Attorney, how are things going? I mean, you guys have a plethora of cases that are coming. Just give us a little snapshot of some of the things that are happening, and let the people know how they can get in contact with you as well.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Jason Sias. I'm with Sias and Carr. I'm one of the partners and principals at the firm. We've been attending the legal night for over a year now, and you know, it's amazing to me how much is going on. I actually looked up today the process of starting a Senate bill, right? And the step one for them says it starts with an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Unfortunately for us, it doesn't start with just an idea. It's a reaction to what's going on in our community. For us, it starts with an experience, and it's an experience that's been going on for quite some time. And a lot of these issues do come to the legal night. So, for example, one case we have where the police mistreated, abused, and assaulted a mentally disabled young man. And that's part of the issue is they're not trained to deal with certain types of individuals. You know, the police officers are trained to see something and react, which may or may not be true. We have another case where a young man was shot in the back. We have another case where a young man was beaten to death. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And usually it involves some officer who just wanted to be over-aggressive, could have done different things to diffuse the situation, and instead of even using common sense, they took matters into their own hands. And it's almost as if they feel empowered because of a badge, and they forget to protect and serve the community. It's almost as if they're enforcing their will upon the community at this point in time.
Right. We have one of our members that wanted to make a comment or ask a question. Juanita, speak to our attorney in the company.
Well, I actually just really wanted to make a comment. I really commend Attorney Silas and the other attorneys on the panel. Each time I participate on a legal night, I'm not an attorney, but I am privileged to work with the legal team at NAN LA. And my specialty is expungements. Helping people to get their criminal records cleared. And it's very, very rewarding. But I just want to say that, and I want to encourage our listeners that if you have legal issues and you have questions, I sit there and I watch these attorneys give such great information, and people are being helped, and people come out and they listen, they take notes, and they're really getting good information. So I really appreciate being a part of the legal team, but most of all, I appreciate these attorneys for the work that they're doing with NAN.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, you know, and just to add to that, we just appreciate the community coming out because it's nice that they have a place where they can vocalize what's going on, because that doesn't
Exactly.
happen everywhere. And so I really want to thank Nan for setting up a venue where people can come together and feel at home and kind of just have family talk. No one is embarrassed. Everyone is very open. And so I appreciate you, Reverend Tools, for opening up your home and allowing us to come and be a part of this movement.
Well, we're definitely appreciative because, again, so many people feel in certain situations that they're hopeless and even helpless. And that's one of the things that we want to be a full service entity, that if there's a problem that requires legal information, that there is a place that they can come to and receive not just legal jargon, but very quality information. I really appreciate you, Jason, because you guys have done a great job. I want to just ask you about the situation, just give a snapshot about a situation that occurred out in Riverside with that young lady being just destroyed by the police officer there.
Absolutely. So, unfortunately, we have another case again where a young lady was actually the victim of a drunk driver who hit her vehicle. And for fear of public safety, she calls the cops because she doesn't want this man driving any further, and her child was also hit. The officers show up. There seems to have been some type of confusion as to who was actually drunk because they were accusing our client of being drunk. Long story short, they end up roughing her to the ground and breaking her knee.
Wow.
The slogan, as it goes, RPD broke her knee. And I can't go into too much detail, but we're in the process of filing a lawsuit against Riverside Police Department. We have filed a claim for damages, to which the city has denied. So now we're enabled to file our lawsuit and pursue justice for her brothers and sisters that were present, and for the children who had to witness this, and now who will be scarred for the rest of their entire life.
Absolutely.
And if I can ask, how is she doing? How is the family coping with this incident?
Well, the family is upset. They're irate. But they also understand that God works in mysterious ways.
Yes.
And our client, she feels that if it takes her to sacrifice her livelihood, because she will never be the same person again.
No, she won't.
She is a very active mother. Her children, they're all into sport. She's like the big mama of the family, as I call it, because everyone comes to her. They come to her house to eat. They come to her house to sleep. She takes all the kids to the games, and she can no longer do that. So, of course, there's some anger, but she sees that God works miracles in all things. So that's how she's coping with that. And she knows she calls us every day, and we answer her call. We understand that she's going through a frustrated situation as well.
Absolutely.
So she understands that she has people that she can reach out to, her church, National Action Network, everyone. So she's got a lot of support behind her.
Very, very heartbreaking situation.
Attorney Silas, this is Reverend Martin. I wanted to ask you, why do people need to come out, and where should the people come?
Well, for one, a good start would be either the legal night or the activist movement on Mondays that Mr. Reverend Tools was talking about. And the reason why people need to come is for two reasons. One, if they have a story, they need to share it because others need to see what's going on. And if they have nowhere else to go, they know that they can come to a place where they can trust the people that are there. And then two, it's good to see what's going on in the community because not everything is being put to light. Just because you see one or two stories that do hit the news, there are hundreds of other stories that never get there.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Right.
And so it's a good way to keep the community aware of what's going on, because the only way you can apply pressure in a legislative sense is to know what's going on and to really be upset by it and take a stand.
Yes.
Okay, this legal night is every
third Thursday of the
Thursday.
month.
at what's the address?
2828 West Jefferson at 9th Avenue.
Okay, starts at 6 p.m. One other question, Attorney Silas. Go through some of what kinds of attorneys will actually participate on the legal night.
So the legal night, we have attorneys from all walks of life. You'll get everything from landlord-tenant to family law to personal injury to criminal defense you name it, it's pretty much there. And if it's something that's not present, we all know someone that works in that field, and we have other attorneys that can't make it to the night that have helped out by receiving an email and corresponding with people that needed a question answered that we couldn't answer that night.
Great, great. And I encourage everyone that's on the air listening to take advantage of these services that are out there. I mean, I don't know. What else can we say? You have great attorneys, young African-American attorneys that are doing extraordinary things in and for the community. And so my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Yes.
So, I mean, we have been blessed to have great attorneys that come out from, as Attorney Sias just said, from all different demographics of whatever law is necessary. And if they can't do it themselves, they have a referral where they can get you the kind of help that you need. So we strongly encourage you to come out tomorrow night, 6 p.m., 2828 West Jefferson Boulevard at the corner of 9th Avenue and Jefferson. The phone number is area code 323-521-3477. That's 323-521-3477. Anything else you want to say, attorney?
I just really want to thank you again for allowing me to come and speak to you tonight. And also, I just want to reiterate and encourage people to please come out. We are there every month, like clockwork. We're there for you. This is our chance to come together as a community and talk about what's going on and to keep this movement going strong. In church last week, and I hate to bring this back, but they were talking about the Sunday after Easter, right? And how the church is usually a little emptier the Sunday after Easter, right? Mm-hmm. Well, part of the lessons that was learned that week was you got to stay in it every single day.
Absolutely.
And legal night is just one way to stay in it, at least once a month so you keep abreast of what's going on. So please, I encourage you guys to come out again. Thank you for having me.
Thank
My
you,
name
attorney.
is Jason Sias. I'm with Sias & Carr LLP. Our phone number is 310-400-5890. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to call the National Action Network, or you can call us directly.
Can you give us that number again?
Yes, it's 310-400-5890. And our firm name is Sias, S-I-A-S, and Carr, C-A-R-R.
Thank you, Attorney Silas.
Let's give Attorney Sias some love.
And thank you for all the wonderful work you do in the community, brother.
Absolutely.
And just like we need to become aware of legal night, we also need to become aware of the bills that we're trying to push through legislation at this current moment. So I hope everyone is listening. Go out to your Senate, go out to your public assembly. Here are 5 bills that National Action Network supports and that we're trying to push through legislation. AB 86, Independent Review Panel for Officers Involved Shootings and Other Force. SB 227, Eliminate Confidential Grand Juries. The incident that happened with Darren Wilson in Ferguson, Missouri. We're trying to eliminate and not have that occur in the state of California. AB 71, Requirement of Statewide Report on Officer-Involved Shootings. SB 11, Increased Training for Officers Handling Mentally Ill Persons. And AB 953, Racial Profiling. If you guys want to spread your awareness or, again, grievances about these certain bills or support these certain bills, contact or visit NAN's Facebook or www.legalinfo.ca.gov/bill-info. We have to get involved and push these bills through legislation, so we cannot sit idle and let this pass by. We have to get involved.
Thank you, Simone. Thank you so very much for that information. Hope that you continue to listen in. Now, Sister Jo Helen Shoemate, give us the community 411.
First of all, I'm going to pay some bills again.
Pay them.
Cha-ching.
We're brought to you by Raise the Praise newspaper, which is a community church paper. They're distributed every Sunday in most of your churches. And also Granny's Soul Food Kitchen on 55th and Central Avenue. When you go in, ask for the radio special, which is 2 pieces of meat, 1 side, 1 piece of cornbread for $4.99, and Eric will honor it if you tell him that you listen to the broadcast and just ask for the radio special. They can also do your catering if your organization is planning an event, and the brisket is off the chain. It will melt in your mouth. I also want to thank the community. All the ministers across Los Angeles County came together last Sunday at Citizen of Zion Baptist Church in Compton for Reverend L. Daniel Williams, Bishop L. Daniel Williams, who has had some health challenges. The Baptist Ministers Conference really showed up and showed out, as well as our NAN members. We were just getting back from New York, and everybody had jet lag. I fell asleep on Rudolph McKissick's sermon, and it was a fire and brimstone sermon, but I fell asleep because due to jet lag. But I do want to thank everybody for coming out to that event, and Bishop L. Daniel Williams thanks you as well. Today, we had the Fight for 15 rally at the Kenneth Hahn Hall of Administration, and that was sponsored by SEIU, which is my union. Michael Green and Linda Dent, Bob Schoonhour, our president, spoke, and also Reverend Tula spoke.
Yes, he did.
On behalf of the community.
Yeah.
And then we had new supervisor Hilda Solis, who is the former Secretary of Labor under the Obama administration, as well as our own Mark Riley Thomas came out and greeted the audience. So that was really wonderful seeing them participate. Now, Legal Night will be happening tomorrow at our NAN office, as we said before, 2828 West Jefferson at 9th Avenue at 6 p.m. Be sure and come out if you're having some legal issues. They will give you free information. Also tomorrow, April 16th, the Los Angeles chapter of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, President William Smart is hosting a luncheon, and the guest speaker will be Martin Luther King III.
All right.
So you may want to call Reverend Smart or the SCLC office and see about attending that event. And to piggyback, Martin Luther King III was at our convention last week at our gala last Thursday night.
Was.
And I got a chance to take a picture with him. And I told him I'll be at that luncheon next week. Reverend Tulis want to invite everyone out to Weller Street Missionary Baptist Church. This Sunday is Men's Day. That's April 19th at 9 a.m. Weller Street Baptist Church is located at 129 South Gless Street. If you take the 4th Street Bridge from Alameda
going east
over the LA River, the second light is Gless, and you make a left and go up a couple of blocks, and that is Weller Street Church, 9 a.m. this Sunday, Men's Day.
Thank you for the 411, Sister Helen, Joe Helen, shoemate. Now, Pastor Martin.
Yes, if you can't get over to Weller Street, you can be the New Life Institutional Baptist Church at 11 a.m., 84th and Figueroa. I'll be there, yours truly, and we'll welcome you. Remember, Monday is our General NAN chapter meeting at our headquarters located at 2828 West Jefferson Boulevard, LA, California. Meeting starts at 6 p.m. sharp. Make sure you're there so you can find out what's happening during the month of April.
So today is April 15th, tax day, right?
Yes,
so I hope everyone turned in and submitted their taxes.
File your taxes.
Yes. And today is also my father's birthday. So before we close this air or get off the air, I would like to send a special shout out and a special happy birthday to my dearest father. I am a daddy's girl.
Happy birthday.
What's his name?
Carl Davis. I'm named after him as well.
All right.
CYMONE is, well, he named me.
All
my whole full name is Mamie Antoinette Simone Davis.
That is
but that's
good.
another story for another
All
day.
right. Well, we thank you again for a wonderful broadcast. We want to thank each one that came in on tonight. We want to especially thank our president who's out at Dodger Stadium tonight celebrating the historic event of one Jackie Robinson. Come on, let's give the Lord a praise for him.
Great people that we have in our midst.
And we thank again for our attorney, Jason Sias, for being with us on tonight
Big
and
J,
calling
sir.
in. And we want you to remember, tomorrow night is legal night. Come out and be with us, 2828 West Vernon Avenue. If you need, West Jefferson Avenue. In the city of Los Angeles. You can contact us at 323 251-3477. Whatever you do, wherever you go, tell somebody to get involved and get engaged. Find action. Go beyond the walls. Remember, our job is not to shake people down.
We shake 'em
simply
up.
shake them up. Good night.
Grandma.